Hello and good evening. Welcome to Croix. My name is Gail.
And I'm Rhonda.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. In local news, 16-year-old Nathan Baldry.
Linda, we are recording.
Okay. In local news, 16-year-old Nathan Daldry claims he has been possessed by the devil. Joining us today is Nathan Daldry.
I was possessed by the devil last night. I don't know what to do. It left me on the side of the road. I was alone. I woke up to the sound of the police on my window. It was horrifying. I told them that I was possessed by the devil, even though I didn't know what happened. And now here I am, possessed by the devil.
Nathan, would you please recount the events of that day?
Linda, we are recording still.
Nathan, please, I'm so sorry for that interruption. Would you please tell us what you did that day, if you can remember?
I was abducted. I was taken away from my home to some weird party, and this girl was there. I don't remember who she was, but I remember she was pretty, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Was there drinking at this party, Nathan?
Yes, there was, and I'm underage. I didn't know what to do.
Does your claim...
I swear to God, Linda!
Does your claim, Nathan, of being possessed by the devil, do you think that has anything to do with you drinking at the party?
No, I do not.
All right. That is all the time that we have for you today, Nathan.
Goodbye, Nathan!
Thank you so much for talking to us today.
I'm so sorry that I was possessed by a devil, but goodbye.
Nathan would also like to give a special shout out, if you will, to one Reverend Poole. He thanks him for being so supportive and understanding of Nathan's precarious situation. If you have any information about possible possession or a similar situation, please call Reverend Poole at 1-800-870-POOL. Thank you.
This segment of LaCroix is brought to you by Suds for Studs logo. 'Cause a girl loves nothing more than a guy who knows how to do his laundry. Wouldn't you say, Gail?
I certainly would, Rhonda.
Okay, our next caller today is Justin. He has gone on some hard times, but we're here for you, Justin.
We are listening. Hi, so my girlfriend, she broke up with me and, well, actually, no. She cheated on me. But, her friend, a week ago, tried to seduce me, and suddenly I am the bad guy. Tell me how that's fair, Gail and Rhonda. Tell me!
It ain't fair, Justin.
And then, she just cheats on me with some low-life scum.
Why do you think this is, Justin?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't good enough for her. Because I'm never gonna be good enough for Rhiannon.
It sounds to me like you aren't good enough.
This call was not helpful. I'm hanging up.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
Well, Gail, do you think that was a success?
Well, Rhonda, I've gotta say, this whole possession by the devil thing is throwing me for a loop. Like the devil had nothing better to do than take some teenager on a joyride to a party.
I agree, Gail. What is this? I think they're high.
Not to mention the drinking that was so evident at the party. Did that really not play any factor at all?
This is the 20s. is no underage drinking now. Maybe in the future, when hoverboards are a thing.
Not to mention the prohibition.
Have you seen this week's new silent movie? It is magical.
Oh my goodness, yes. The way that the actresses and actors are able to portray their emotions, it transcends words.
It was fantastical.
Fantastical indeed.
Gosh darn amazing.
Golly, what a show.
The sweetest thing. What else on earth could ever be? Such happiness to everything. And love's own story. Love is the strangest thing.
Well, Gail, does that just not make you want to get your dancing partner and dance?
It certainly does, Rhonda. If only I had a dancing partner.
I'm so sorry about Jerry. I know he died last week, and you're so brave to be here with us still.
I try, whatever I can do to get through the days.
I'm so glad your enthusiasm is still here, too.
Thank God Jerry didn't take that from me.
Well, this is going to be a tough transition, but next caller, we have Rhiannon. And is this the same Rhiannon from Justin, Gail?
Hi, my name is Rhiannon, and, I'm in love, but I can't be with him.
Well, why the gosh darn not, Rhiannon?
I can't tell you why. You just have to trust me. We can never work out.
Well, isn't that just applesauce?
It's true baloney, but it's real.
Maybe you need a boy that's not just a big block of cheese.
But this guy, he's perfect. And I love him, but we could never be.
I still don't understand, but thanks for your input.
Thank you for calling, Rhiannon. I was so sorry to hear about Justin, you slut.
Well, now for a musical break again, because I just love music, don't you, Gail?
Why, I certainly do, Rhonda.
Arms! Well, Gail, isn't this just the cat's meow?
It truly is the bee's knees.
I can tell you're excited, Gail.
I am truly ecstatic.
Wait, I swear! We are gonna go over there and rip your arms off! Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys.
But he's got eyes of blue, and that's my weakness now. He's got curly hair.
That was a new release. I'm not sure of the artist, but are they not just swell?
They are completely swell, Gail.
For the remainder of our show tonight, we will be reading in the latest installment of Every Day by David Levithan. Now, this story is a science fiction romance novel. Who even knew that existed?
You know what, Gail? I read this book and it was just gosh darn amazing.
Oh, I know it, Rhonda. This book is truly riveting very ahead of its time.
I am also sorry for Belinda. She has now been escorted out of the building. That will not happen again. Are you okay, Gail? You really didn't need that after the week you had.
Linda, if you're listening to this right now, I hope you're happy.
Wow. That was just riveting.
And now for David Levithan's Every Day. We will be reading one of Rhonda and I's very favorite chapters, which involves a very dynamic character. And just enjoy this brief music break while I find the right page. Take it away, Rhonda. And we are back. Now, this is a very controversial topic that we will be discussing here.
And if those other callers are still listening to our show, this might help you. I don't know how, but whatever helps does.
Yes, especially Nathan. If you are still listening and would like to call us back, please feel free to dial the number on your telephone. Day 5998. Something is wrong the moment I wake up the next morning. Something chemical. It's barely even morning. The body has slept until noon. Because this body was up late, getting high. And now it wants to be high again. Right now. I've been in the body of a pothead before. I've woken up, still drunk from the night before. But this is worse. Much worse. There will be no school for me today. There will be no parents waking me up. I am on my own, in a dirty room, sprawled on a dirty mattress, with a blanket that looks like it was stolen from a child. I can hear other people yelling in the rooms of the house. There comes a time when the body takes over the life. There comes a time when the body's urges, the body's needs, dictate the life. You have no idea you are giving the body the key, but you hand it over. And then it's in control. You mess with the wiring, and the wiring takes charge. I have only had glimpses of this before. Now I really feel it. I can feel my mind immediately combating the body. But it's not easy. I cannot sense pleasure. I have to cling to the memory of it. I have to cling to the knowledge that I am only here for one day, and I have to make it through.
I tried to go back to sleep, but the body won't let me. The body is awake now, and it knows what it wants. I know what I have to do, even though I don't really know what's going on. Even though I have not been in this situation before, I have been in situations before where it has been me against the body. I have been ill, seriously ill, and the only thing to do is to power through the day. At first, I thought there was something I could do within a single day that could make everything better, but very soon I learned that my only limitations. Bodies cannot be changed in a day, especially not when the real mind isn't in charge. I don't want to leave the room. If I leave the room, anything and anyone can happen. Desperately, I look around for something to help me through. There is a decrepit bookshelf, and on its selection of old paperbacks. These will save me, I decide. I open up an old thriller and focus on the first line. Darkness had descended on Manassas, Virginia. The body does not want to read. The body is alive with electric barbed wire. The body is telling me there is only one way to fix this. Only one way to end the pain. Only one way to feel better. The body will kill me if I don't listen to it. The body is screaming. The body demands its own form of logic. I read the next sentence. I lock the door. I read the third sentence. The body fights back. My hand shakes. My vision blurs.
I'm not sure that I have the strength to resist this. I have to convince myself that Rhiannon is on the other side.
Hold up! Rhiannon? Do you see this, Rhonda?
Oh my goodness! Rhiannon, are you still listening?
Rhiannon, I had no idea you were such.
It's okay, Gail. We all have those moments.
Anyway, Rhiannon, if you are listening, if this is you, listen as I continue with this sentence. I have to convince myself that Rhiannon is on the other side. I have to convince myself that this isn't a pointless life, even though the body is telling me that it is. The body has obliterated its memories in order to hone its argument. There isn't much for me to access. I must rely on my own memories, the ones that are separate from this. I must remain separate from this. I read the next sentence, then the next sentence. I don't even care about the story. I'm moving from word to word, fighting the body from word to word. It's not working. The body makes me feel like it wants to defecate and vomit. First in the usual way. Then I feel I want to defecate through my mouth and vomit through the other end. This is intense. Like camping. That was not part of the plot line. That was just a little joke that I felt I needed to interject. Continuing on. Everything is being mangled. I want to claw at the walls. I want to scream. I want to pound. I want to punch myself repeatedly. I have to imagine my mind as something physical. Something that can control the body. I have to picture my mind holding the body down. I read another sentence, then another. There is pounding on the door. I scream that I'm reading. They leave me alone. I don't have what they want in this room. They have what I want outside this room. I must not leave this room. I must not let the body out of this room.
I imagine her walking the hallway. Linda! You should be ashamed of yourself! Okay, where was I? I imagine her sitting next to me. I imagine her eyes meeting mine. Then I imagine her getting in his car and I stop. The body is infecting me and I'm getting angry. Angry that I am here. Angry that this is my life. Angry that so many things are impossible. Angry at myself. Don't you want it to stop? The body asked me. I push myself as far away from the body as I can, even as I'm in it. I have to go to the bathroom. I really have to go to the bathroom. Finally, I pee in a soda bottle. It splashes all over. but it's better than leaving this room. If I leave the room, I will not be able to stop the body from getting what it wants. I am 90 pages into the book. I can't remember any of it, word by word. The fight is exhausting. The body. I am winning.
It is a mistake to think of the body as a vessel. Just one moment as I adjust my cheaters. It is a mistake to think of the body as a vessel. It is as active as any mind, as any soul. And the more you give yourself to it, the harder your life will be. I have been in the bodies of starvers and purgers, gluttons and addicts. They all think their actions make their lives more desirable, but the body always defeats them in the end. I just need to make sure the defeat doesn't take while I am inside. I make it to sundown, 265 pages gone. I am shivering under the filthy blanket. I don't know if it's the temperature in the room or if it's me. Almost there, I tell myself. There is only one way out of this, the body tells me. At this point, I don't know if it means drugs or death. The body might not even care at this point. Finally, the body wants to sleep. I let it. End of chapter.
Well, Gail, that was just the weirdest thing I've ever read.
It certainly was, Rhonda. Something I was never expecting from this book, which has been so mellow.
That is so true, Gail.
Maybe it was just me, but I felt a strong kinship between this character and a funny man named Pete Davidson.
Me too, Gail.
I'm not sure if you listeners have listened to Pete Davidson much, but this did strike a resemblance with me.
You know, Gail, I'm not sure if all of our listeners would know, but Pete Davidson is a new, young-aged hottie that has entered this world. Look out, ladies, he's coming.
If I could briefly interject here, I would like to point out that before, I realized I did not give you much of a rundown of the plotline of Every Day by David Levithan. Let me do that now. As I said before, Every Day is a science fiction romance novel. You could make the argument it falls under the fantasy genre. You would be half correct.
Wow, that is so exciting, Gail.
This novel focuses on a character who calls himself A, and every day he wakes up inside the body of a new human being that is not himself.
Isn't that just bizarre, Gail? Like, it just makes me angry when I read it, and I don't know why.
Yes, it makes me feel similar feelings, Rhonda. But at the same time, I have to keep reading.
So true, Gail. Like, the love in this story. It's so unrealistic, but it's exciting.
Yes, as Rhonda has said, A finds himself infatuated with this girl named Rhiannon. Now, we are not sure if the Rhiannon who has called us earlier is the muse for this novel or not, but we do find that ironic.
I have just gotten word, Gail, that it is the same Rhiannon
Goodness golly gracious.
Rhiannon, if you are listening, which I hope you are, this is a bizarre life story of yours that we have been reading.
It certainly is. Getting back to the, how you say,
Plot.
thank you, Rhonda. The plot of the story. As A falls further and further in love with Rhiannon, he finds himself driving long distances to see her again, and doing things so that he will be places where she is. Some might say this is bizarre, strange, and borderline stalkerish, but others find it romantic. Now, an example I have of this is that Rhonda and I, when we read this, we are a little queasy. It makes us
That
feel...
is true, Gail.
Yes. It makes us feel violated.
And uncomfortable.
But other friends who have also read the great work David Levithan has read or has written for us especially, say they find it heartwarming and romantic.
I just don't understand those friends, Gail. Like, this book confuses me. Why would you wake up in the different body of someone else every day? Maybe in the future. 100 years from now. 2020. Could you even imagine that, Gail?
I could not, Rhonda. Truly a mind-bending question.
If this ever happens in the future, and if this beautiful recording of LaCroix stands the time, I really hope that you play this for the world after they read this book and this happens.
Why, isn't that the hope for all of us?
It definitely is, Gail.
Now, it has come to that time where we must say goodbye and part ways for the rest of the evening. It has truly been a pleasure performing for you today.
We have one quick advertisement before we leave. It's for this new age thing. Prepared chicken. Yes, you heard me, folks. You buy this chicken, and it's already cooked. I know. You think it's from a restaurant, but it isn't. It's from the store. I know. It's okay. I have tried it personally, and I just think that you should try it for yourself.
It is truly a marvelous, marvelous invention. How it makes life so much easier. Needless to say, prepared chicken is the best thing since jarred mayonnaise and sliced bread.
Oh, isn't it, Gail?
It is. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you tune in next week, Monday and Wednesday, at 4 p.m.
Ready for dinner, guys.
Good night. Wow, another great taping of LaCroix, Rhonda.
Oh, it was Gail. I'm so glad it's over, though. I want to go home to Tony.
And your 17 children.
Yes, ugh, those kids. Well, Gail, I am just so glad that Linda got fired and we are done with this gosh darn show already.
Don't I know it, Rhonda?
Tony, you know Tony, my husband.
Why, yes, of course.
He read every day and he liked it. I think I should divorce him now.
What?
I
How
know.
is that even possible? This book is garbage.
I know. Why did we even tell our listeners to read it?
It is so hard to endorse products these days. Where do you draw the line?
I don't know. Like, cooked chicken? You are not a mother if you don't cook your child's chicken yourself.
I could not agree more.
My 17 kids love my cooked chicken.
Yes, even though Jerry has left me, God bless his soul.
Rest
My
in peace.
7 children, Jack, John, Mary, Joseph, Peter, Frank, and Ruth Ellen, love my chicken, cooked from the heart.
Yes, Gail. Linda leaving her chips everywhere. I don't understand, but good for us because we get to eat them now. You know, I can't remember all my 17 kids, but they're all animals. There's lizard and giraffe. Those are my favorites. You know, I would never tell anyone that except you, Gail.
Mm-hmm. John, if you're listening, get it, because we're off.
Yeah.
No one is listening. John is my favorite. Now, I'm not going to lie. I dated a man named John one time. His name was John Mulaney. His brother, John Krasinski. Oh man, he was a special one.
You know what, Gail? I dated someone named John Mulaney too.
Rhonda, are you joking?
I am not, Gail. He was like tall. Was he tall, Gail?
He was tall. He was Irish, lived in Boston.
Was he Catholic?
Why, yes, he was.
Oh my gosh, Gail.
Oh my goodness.
I've
Rhonda.
never felt closer to you before in my life. It's been so emotional the last few days. I know. My friend got hit by a bus. She was just riding her bike. I don't know what to do anymore. What a time, Gail. Oh my goodness.
I've never told anyone that secret before.
I dated this one guy in college, and that's who Lizzie came from. His name was Andy Sandberg.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Lizard's dad is Andy.
I sure hope that Tony never knows. Dramatic irony.
I really hope so, too.
Dramatic irony.
You know, Gail,
Yes, Rhonda.
I dated this one guy, too. No kids came of it, though, so it's okay. His name was Michael. Sarah.
Oh. I've heard of that young lad before. He made quite a storm up in Boston.
Yeah. Did you know he just got a job in the post room of this here radio show?
Did he now?
He did, Gail. What am I going to do? I don't think I can help myself around him. What am I gonna do?
That truly is a question for the ages.
It is. Okay, Gail, I'm sorry. But I have to go now. I gotta go cook some chicken.
Okay, so as I'm sure you know by now, we have been reading Every Day by David Levithan, and I have mixed feelings about this book. It was a really different plot line than something that I had read before, but I just didn't care for it. Thoughts, Danielle?
Thank you, Greta. I agree. It was really weird and confusing, and I just didn't want the characters to be together. You know how in rom-coms you just want them to be together, but I didn't want them to be together because they can't be together.
It was
and it's
just weird.
Illogical.
It was just it was a problematic relationship.
It was.
It just, they were the real star-crossed lovers there. Romeo and Juliet go home.
Yeah. If you want a weird story.
Yeah, if you want a weird love story, love in quotations, then read this book.
What is it with teenagers and thinking they're in love after knowing someone for, like, a day?
I don't know.
What is that?
And Rhiannon's really not even that great.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah. And how he just, like, wakes up and, like, likes the person? That doesn't make any sense. You have to know someone.
And I am so confused as to how any of this even works, like, to begin with.
Yes.
Like, who are his parents?
He doesn't have any.
Who is in the body of, like, the actual child, Because when he was born,
maybe
he had
just,
to
like,
be
appeared.
some...
And what
right?
was, like, the Reverend? Was he actually, like, a...
I don't know. Or was he, like, just saying that? Like, it would make sense if he was doing that. Mm-hmm. But was he, like, capturing other people who had been possessed to, like, harness their power?
I don't know. It felt like he just wanted to get information from A.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Still confused.
Very confused.
If anyone knows, hit me up. And I feel like we have to read the next 2 novels, but I really don't want to.
Yeah, because I don't understand really what happened, even though, like, I know what happened. It just didn't compute.
I would be, like, interested in hearing, like, Rhiannon's point of view, because if this was happening to me, I would be very creeped out.
Yes. I would not believe him that quickly.
No, but I mean, I guess you can't really get a restraining order for someone who is in a different body every day.
And isn't a person.
Also true.
Yeah.
Issues here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't understand how she was, like, so quick to, like, trust him and to love him.
Yes.
And how they were, like, dating for, like, a short period of time.
And how she wanted to, like, do things. Like,
I know!
It's someone else's body.
It's so wrong. Like, that's, like, a very serious, like, thing for you, like, personally. And just to have that, like, taken away by someone else
and you
who's
don't even know
you.
it. And how it ended, that was not an ending.
That was a terrible ending.
He runs away in someone else's body?
I don't understand, like, how that's going to work. Because when he goes to sleep, Katie is just going to wake up, like, in the middle of a forest.
I know.
Like, that's not solving anyone's problems, A.
I know. Like, why couldn't he just go to Hawaii and get away from everything? He knew it wasn't going to work anyway.
I know. And it's just, like, I don't like how A, like, destroyed all of those people's lives just because he wanted to be with Rhiannon. Like, he messed up, like, everyone's relationship because they're, like, lying to their parents and, like, stealing their cars,
Yeah.
And then, like, driving, like, 2+ hours to go see some stranger. Like,
I didn't like Justin, but I didn't like how it ended. He just ruined that relationship and didn't let Rhiannon, like, explain to Justin what happened.
Yeah.
He just ruins everything.
Okay, and then also, when he was in Ashley's body, like, the
What?
girl who resembled Beyonce,
What's that?
that was so messed up. He was hitting on Justin, trying to, like, seduce him, and then he was like, I told you so, but I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, she is clearly upset here.
Keep your legs in your side of the table, girl.
He's such a vile person.
Yes.
But he does all of this, like, for Rhiannon, and, like, for her well-being.
I don't believe that.
And it probably wasn't the best, because I had just watched a TV show on Netflix called You, and this reminded me of that.
That's
so much.
Creepy.
Like, yeah, basically it's just, like, a stalker, but then he, like, kills her in the end.
And a bunch of other people.
Yeah, a bunch of other people. All of her friends who, were, like, in between them, standing in their love
Way.
path.
That's exactly how it was.
That
because
is
he,
how
like,
it was.
ruined everyone's relationship
didn't-
that was in his way.
Like, he didn't kill them, but
He killed their heart. And that's worse. Kind of.
and then also, this is just random, but when he was in the body of the drug user, wouldn't it have been better to, like, go about that guy's life and, like, be doing
Yeah.
the things that he would normally do? Because that probably made it worse.
Yeah, I get that he didn't want to do drugs.
No, yeah, like, I
but
understand,
still,
but...
he can't take control of someone's life like that. Like, at the beginning, he was just like, I've never, like, changed someone's life to make it, like, way different. I try to keep it in the path. But that's not what he does.
No, I mean, he broke a kid's ankle.
Yeah.
He, like, twisted a wrist. He made the vegan eat meat.
Yeah.
What else did he do? I know he did something
ruined
else, but...
the relationship of the people when they went to the parade.
Yes! Like the Pride Parade.
Yes.
Mhm.
No.
He just, like, broke them up.
Yeah.
It was like, come on. They
they
were
didn't-
perfectly happy.
Yeah.
And then you inhabited his body.
Yeah. And then he almost blew that other girl off when they had the date just to see someone that he doesn't even really know.
And then don't get me started about when he was with Justin. The stuff that he was doing with Rhiannon was completely inappropriate.
Yes.
Like, he had access to his mind, and he should have been able to, like...
Be Justin.
Yes. I just don't understand. I know that this is just a book, and that David had a set plot line that he was trying to plan out when he was writing this, but some things just do not make sense to me.
It's, like, so unrealistic, but it's so true at the same time. Like, you can, like, the drama and everything, because there was just so much drama in it, and there's so much drama at school, but, like, how they play it out is just not right. Like, you wouldn't just want to, like, take over someone else's life to be with someone else when you're in, like, high school. That's too soon. Well, you shouldn't do that anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was very shocked by the number of sexually active 16-year-olds.
What was that? When
Maybe
they went
that's-
into the bush, the bushes are for creatures.
And that cabin scene, oh my gosh. That was
That-
terrifying.
I read that in
That was
class.
horrifying.
That scarred my brain for the rest of my life.
And someone spoiled that for me, so I knew it was coming, which made it
I-
a million times worse.
I didn't know it was coming, and I just read it, and I was like, this isn't right. He shouldn't be doing this. She shouldn't be doing this. She should
it
know
was
better.
it was the fact that she was okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also, like, A was so not understanding of, like, Rhiannon's issues.
Yes.
How, like, she isn't going to be attracted to, like, everybody that he is in. But A, like, did not grasp that at all.
Yeah. He just thought that she was going to love him no matter what, when they weren't even in love in the first place. Like, you can't just... Physicalness... Yeah. physicalness isn't everything, but it's something. You have to be attracted to someone to be with them.
Yeah,
Physically
for sure.
and emotionally attracted to them.
Just A's attitude throughout like the entirety of the novel was just very annoying.
Yes. Just made me very angry, which I get angry watching like Grey's Anatomy. That's why.
Me too.
Because, yeah, I won't get angry really easily. But this just aggravated me. Because I didn't know what to do.
He's so needy and he's obsessive, and like the things he's doing are like
They're wrong.
Yes, they are stuff. They're things that
morally
a
wrong.
stalker does, and like it was
Everything.
escalating. It was getting bad.
Yeah. And
Like I was scared for Rhiannon.
he was like, and he would like go places, and that would cost people money that maybe they didn't have. How would he know? And he would like steal their cars. I'm like, that's not right.
Not everyone drives a Prius, which is like fuel efficient.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that they had to stop for gas, and gas is expensive. Okay.
And then he like went to Starbucks. Even if you're getting a black coffee at Starbucks, it's still gonna be expensive. It's Starbucks.
I know. And then also, not every town has a bookstore, but like
Yeah.
every town that they ran had a bookstore. I know that's a very small detail, but that just got me.
Yeah. And when he was in the body of the person that was homeschooled, and he like, his mom, like, what was the person gonna have to deal with the next day when his mom was just like, why do you make out with that girl?
He doesn't think about the consequences
He doesn't.
or the repercussions of his actions. Like,
He's just like, I want to do this now, even though I get that he's had a hard life because he doesn't have his own, really. But that doesn't mean he can just do whatever he wants.
yes, like that doesn't give him the license to just ruin other people's lives.
Yeah. Like, just because your life isn't great doesn't mean you have to make everyone else's not great, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Miss Anderson, if you like this book. I don't know if you did or not. And I know
Yes.
that other people in our group liked it a lot.
Lindsay.
Yes. But it was just aggravating.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say
it was
that.
well written.
Yes.
He had an idea and he followed through. So props to you, David. But I didn't care for it. There were
Yeah.
just things like when I was reading it, it just kind of made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. I like books that make you have to like think, like mystery books and stuff, and this was like not that. You just
It
got
was a pretty
everything.
easy read. I didn't think there were a lot of like complex words
No,
or
not at all.
like hard to grasp ideas. So that was a plus.
It was just like thrown at you. Like you just
It-
knew
yes.
exactly what was happening, which I mean, it's good that you know what's happening, but I want a little more in a
there
book.
wasn't a lot of suspense,
Yeah.
which I think that could have been improved.
Yeah. Like you just knew everything was going to happen and you
Which I mean,
Yeah.
we were kind of reading it like in real time because it was day by day. It wasn't sped up.
yeah.
It didn't take place over a long period of time. I think that was like 2 weeks at the most.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of chapters, but
No.
yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. It was simple to read and okay. It
Yeah.
was okay, I've probably read worse, but I've definitely read better.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And our podcast, not podcast.
Our radio show.
Yes. If you're thinking it's bizarre, we're
It
just
is.
bizarre people. So
We are.
it just matches us.
I feel like we should both have our own radio show,
Yes. I would
on the
listen
daily.
to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Of course.
So, when you see us on Saturday Night Live in,
20 years. No. That's weird to be like 30.
in like 7 years.
Hopefully.
That's, in like 8 years,
Yeah.
just remember our radio show.
Yeah. Okay.
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Dan.
Awesome.